And we are live.
It really does sound like the intro to like a sitcom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dun, dun. Na, 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 na.
Playoff pivot. Have we ever done playoff pivot?
I don't think we have.
I don't think
think
we've
we
done a
did.
show in the playoffs yet.
Yes. So we are breaching new grounds here at the pivot. We are brought to you by
Vast Bank.
Oh, looks good today.
Vast Bank. We're executively produced by Toby Bielchini, and we are the pivot. What's up, guys?
Hey,
Nothing much.
A little post New Year.
Post New Year.
Coming off a week where both my team and the show team were battling it out to try to win it, but we didn't. We got
Nope.
second, third.
Missed it by that much.
Who won last week? I can't.
Fold to seats 4.
I think he finished in the top 3, didn't he? So what were the
Yeah,
final?
he was second. He finished second.
McMillan or whatever first.
Yeah, McMillan P got first with over 70 points.
Lead. Wow. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Good
he kind
season.
of was like first, pretty much the whole
He
year. it
carried
seemed
the
like.
year. Yeah. Good job, McMillan. Good job. Fold to seat 4.
Are we burying the lead though?
What's the lead?
Happy birthday, Matt.
Oh well, yeah, we don't
Happy
need to talk about the fact that
birthday,
I'm
Matt.
50 now.
Yeah.
So
Happy birthday, man.
we'll appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Feeling a lot older than I did about a week ago. So, but with new vengeance wanting to this, I think we can by far say that the next year of the pivot's going to be the best year of the pivot.
Yeah.
By far.
Absolutely.
I think
Big
we're gonna
things coming.
I think we're bringing a whole new product next year. I did receive a phone call that went to voicemail last night while at the Chili Bowl, which is an event that you guys should support, from one Michael Goins, indicating that Juice had sent him a copy of the link and that he was accepting our invitation to be a part of the pivot
Nice.
and that he was looking forward to it. And so we'll have to send him this link as it's officially announced that we will be a foursome next year. We'll be adding the G-Dog.
Nice.
So, and maybe Emmy will be back. Who knows? We might
Maybe.
be 5. No. I think that's what the fans really want. Anyway, appreciate everybody who supported the regular season shows. I always shout out to Brian because Brian is the one listener that if we don't go on the air, he asks or texts to find out what happened in the show. I know Brett listens and some other people, Toby listens and G-Dog listens. But anyway, everybody who listened to the regular season, we appreciate it. And
Ming listens.
Ming listens. Yeah, we're excited. Jared's cousin doesn't listen.
I don't think so.
Jared's brother-in-law doesn't listen.
Nope. Not yet.
Okay.
Got to get our
Anyway,
product.
We'll get these people and we'll get them hooked at some point. We got Christian in the house today.
What's up?
Out of school, right, Christian? Yeah, he's
Yeah,
excited.
Right.
And we're ready to do our first playoff show, right?
Yep.
We will be breaking down a DK lineup that includes all 6 games, correct? It's just a classic just like we've been doing. We'll be doing these type lineups until we get to the Super Bowl, at which time we'll be doing a showdown slate.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully we'll have shows throughout, right? You
Yeah.
guys available? We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll keep our fingers crossed. Anyway, you guys got some hindsight? What do you guys want to talk about before we jump into this?
Well, I mean, you kind of touched on it. We were 7 points. You were 9 points away from first place. So it was just like a play away from locking in that.
Juice finished, 11th?
He
overall.
finished.
I was like 20th.
No, I'm saying it overall.
Overall, Juice finished 12th. The show finished 10th.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about where I finished.
So
It was a feast or famine year for me. I was either top 5 or bottom 5 almost all year.
That's what happens sometimes. You know?
I mean, I'm finished dead even. I mean, that pretty much is accurate for top 5 half the time, or top 5 some of the time, bottom 5 most of the time. I finished right in the middle. So, what about the Millionaire Maker? How did they win? How did they win the million last week?
all right, pulling it up. They had at quarterback Nick Mullins, 25.64 points.
I also started Nick Nolans.
Aaron Jones, 22.1.
I looked at Jones for a little bit. I felt like that was a good start,
Yeah.
and he was well priced.
He was well priced. He was only 6,300. James Conner, 33.4.
Played him. I thought he was a must play.
Yeah.
He was pretty great, and his price was awesome, 6,100. CeeDee Lamb, kind of an obvious one,
I did not
35.5.
play him, but you guys played him.
Yeah. Slayton, who I think has had like back-to-back decent games.
Subbed him out last
Subbed
second.
him out. Oh, man. He was 4,000. Justin Jefferson.
And the reason I had him in was because in a conversation with Juice, I asked if we should play the other. He said, no, play Slayton if you're playing him. So Juice was on Slayton. I don't know
I
if
was
he,
on Slayton. That was probably the one thing I got right last week.
there are definitely weeks like that.
Justin Jefferson, 39 points.
We played him.
We played him.
Did we all play him?
We all played.
Yeah, we all played him. Munt for Minnesota.
I played him.
10.8. We all played him. Evan Ingram, 23.9 in the flex.
Talk about a feast or famine guy, right? Like
Yeah.
he is nothing or goes big.
And I believe this was our defense, the Giants, 17 points against Philadelphia.
They erupted.
Yeah.
Yes. I did not play them. I played somebody else, but that I would have won if I'd played the Giants. So, I think we did a good job last week. We always do good. We're good at Week 18 show. Like that's where our strength.
Yeah, we won playoffs before.
Playoffs. I think we've cashed every time in the playoffs. So we need to keep that streak alive.
Yeah, let's do it.
So I remember Juice 2 years ago. Juice won the won the first round and then couldn't be caught basically by the time we got to the Super Bowl. Like
Nice.
literally would have had to just not enter a lineup.
Went on a run for sure.
So we plan on going that run again. We, like I said, are going to be doing a lineup that includes all the games. So let's talk about the games that
I think
are scheduled to go over 50 points this week
I figure we should do something a little different this week.
in the 50-cent piece category.
Well, there's only one game.
Did you say you want to talk about weather?
I don't mind talking about weather.
I mean, we could talk about weather.
But I think we should go game by game. Just kind of give
we only
our
got 6
sort
games.
of
Let's do.
synopsis of what we think is going to happen in the game. 'Cause I think that's really important this week.
I love that idea.
Yeah, we should say who we think is going to win in each game,
I
too.
love that idea. I don't remember what this button does, so I'm going to press. Oh, that's the laugh track. I love that idea.
I think it's important.
And they think it's funny. So, okay, where do you want to start?
Let me go through the weather real quick.
Oh, listen, hold on.
Okay.
The weather is brought to you by Vast Bank.
Yes.
Julio Quadra is your meteorologist, and the report is where are we starting? Live.
Let's start. So Cleveland, Houston, it's indoors. Don't worry about it.
Good
Green
game to-
Bay, Dallas, indoors. Rams, Detroit, indoors. Miami, KCC. The first two words,
Not indoors.
absolutely frigid is the description.
Wow.
Temps should be around 0 degrees at kickoff.
Oh, my God.
Will probably get colder as the game
Wind
goes
chill.
on. 10 to 15 mile an hour winds with gusts around 25 miles. So it will feel around 20 to 30 degrees below zero.
I mean, who buys tickets to that?
I don't
Like,
I
can
don't
you
know.
imagine any other event where they're like, please come stand outside for 4.5 hours while it's negative 30 degrees? I mean, it's just amazing what the football. What NFL
Jenny
gets.
would literally divorce me if I took her to this game.
I don't know that I could make it through the game.
Yeah.
Period.
I
Like,
saw tickets are going for like $40.
Yeah,
for
I'm-
this game.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like they're like,
You mean
people
people-
are giving them away.
I mean, I think people are giving you 40 to take the.
They
Like,
should just make every stadium a dome now.
this is why games are televised. This very reason.
Yeah.
I mean, we could go COVID on this game and not have fans and
Mm-hmm.
just play it on
Yeah.
TV, and I wouldn't even. But I don't even think the players should have to play this. Did you travel to our last senior year when we played at Pawnee?
Yeah,
and
I
it
was
was
there.
so cold that they had trash cans on fire on the sideline.
Oh, really?
I was there. Yeah.
Wow.
Playing in 2A high school football, we got to see some amazing
It
things.
was
And I-
glamorous.
I think having trash cans fires on the sidelines is one of the classier, more amazing things I got to be a part of.
You know, on a little somber note, shout out to Coach Medina's family. His mom passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago. So she was a friend of our family's, and
So anybody who is part of the Cassia Hall family would
Yeah.
know what we're talking about. And Coach Medina has been a lifelong friend, and I'm sorry to hear that his mom passed.
yeah. But the next game of concern is Pittsburgh at Buffalo.
Let's hear the weather report for this one, because I heard Kansas City is bad, and I've heard Buffalo might be worse.
So they designate the games green, yellow, orange, and red in terms of severity.
Okay,
Miami KC is orange.
that's orange.
Wow.
Pittsburgh Buffalo is red.
Okay.
Okay, so cold, windy, increasingly likely to be snowy as well. Temps will be in the 20s with sustained winds around 25 miles an hour, gusts at 35 miles an hour or higher, low 40s is what they're saying. Snow looks likely to be a major issue pregame and in-game as well. And depending on where our lake effect snow band sets up, we could see inches of snow before and during the game.
Wow.
So it
Makes
sounds
it
like
hard-
a blizzard is coming.
It makes it hard to play football.
It's hard to see, right?
So do we? Well, we'll talk about that. But I mean, is this a game that we wipe off?
I am.
Yeah, I
don't want
wouldn't touch it,
anything to do
right?
with it.
I mean, we have 3 indoor games, right? Like,
I would say the Miami KC game, there might be pieces we could still use, one-offs.
I mean, it's not going to be as treacherous track, right?
Maybe you go the
fi-
running game. Maybe
the
go
fi-
Pacheco.
I was going to say the field's going to be clean at
Yeah.
least on that game.
Yeah,
I think Pacheco's probably a great play that game.
maybe. And then, but Pittsburgh-Buffalo, I want nothing to do with that game.
And then the last game is,
Philly at Tampa Bay, it's more rain than anything.
how does a 10-1 team end up having to travel to Tampa Bay in the first round of the playoffs? I mean, that just tells you the Eagles have just died on us.
They have.
I mean, the Giants kicked their ass.
They did. It was pretty bad.
Okay, I like the weather report. So now let's just go game by game and just kind of discuss them, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Back to that. So our 50-cent piece breakdown will be just, there are 50 cents.
There's one game. There's 157.
I thought there were 2.
No, you're right. There are 2. Rams Lions is 52, and Packers Cowboys is 50 and a half.
I mean, we have 6 games on the slate this week, and this is the first time we've had 2 50-cent pieces. I think
maybe
all
all
season.
season.
Yeah, I don't think there's been 2.
So I
This
guess
year.
we finally get some good teams playing each other, and that kind of helps things a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a favorite game? I mean, if you had to pick which game was going to score the most, I kind of like Cleveland-Houston.
I do too. I like Cleveland.
I don't know
Houston.
why. I just feel like that. Cleveland's got that really good defense, but I feel like Houston's good enough on offense that they'll be able to put up some points, right?
It'll be interesting to see. It's the first game. We might as well start off with it.
Okay, let's break this one down.
I mean, it's going to be interesting because Flacco's been like a sensation this year. Right?
Yep.
And they've been kind of winning on his arm. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, just through the air. And they're a running team. So, and we know what CJ Stroud can do through the air. I don't really know where this game's going to go. I mean, does Cleveland slow it down? Do they keep airing it out? If they keep airing it out, you got to love this game, right?
Right.
Who do you think's going to win this game?
Cleveland going away.
Cleveland?
Going
do.
away.
I do. I think they win by a couple touchdowns. I just think they have the better defense, and I think their offense has consistently put up points all season,
Sure.
almost against whoever, no matter who they play.
Yeah. There's something magical going on between Amari Cooper and Flacco.
Yeah.
And Njoku.
Yeah, and Njoku.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of pieces from that game that are reasonably priced and could be played. The other side of it, we got Stroud, who's coming out, still coming. You know, he was out of concussion protocol last week, right?
Yeah.
Looked decent.
He looked pretty good. He threw 149 yards to Nico Collins.
I was going to say, I think Nico Collins got almost 75% of the yards or
Yeah.
something. Like, yeah. I like Nico Collins this week, too, as a good play. Next game. What's the second game?
If Tank Dell were playing, I'd feel maybe a little bit differently. I think maybe I'd like.
They'd
Houston.
have. I feel like Houston's just a couple weapons away from being a really good
Yeah.
AFC team.
But these teams, I think, could be good for the foreseeable future.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So have you heard the narrative about the NFL being rigged? I mean, we've got Deshaun Watson's team playing his old team. We've got Tyreek's team playing his old team. We've got Stafford and Goff playing each other. There's
A lot of narratives.
a lot
A
of
lot of
narratives.
narratives. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Stafford is literally playing against his old team
Goff
in the playoffs.
was the other part of the trade. So
Oh, that's right. They both are.
yeah,
That is
Goff went
crazy.
to a Super Bowl with him, right?
Yeah, he did.
Stafford won one.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the Lions win it all this year. They wouldn't be a bad Super Bowl champion. It'd be pretty good.
I'd be happy either side on this one, on Rams or Detroit.
So what's game 2?
Game 2 is the Dolphins and the Chiefs.
So little bit of preview on that was maybe the running game for Kansas City, maybe the running game for Miami.
Right.
Miami's kind of banged up on the offensive line. I don't know that I can see them just going in there and running it down Kansas City's throat. But that was the weakness of Kansas City in the years past, right? Was that you could always run against them.
Not anymore.
Not,
I feel like Kansas City, for as sort of pedestrian as they've been down the stretch, this may be the best matchup they could get in the first round of the playoffs.
yeah, I feel like the Dolphins and the Eagles are kind of both coming in banged up.
They're
And-
limping, right?
Yeah. That's unfortunate because I enjoy the Dolphins. I've enjoyed Hard Knocks in season. Have either of you guys watched any of that?
I haven't yet. So you both think Kansas City's going to win this?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for the Dolphins,
Oh,
so
I'm
I'm going to go
definitely
ahead
rooting
and
for the
say
Dolphins.
I think the Dolphins are going to win this.
I'm rooting for the Dolphins. Big Dan Levitard show fan, and they're from Miami, and
Christian's shaking his head. We're big Chiefs fans.
yeah, I figured you go to school in Lawrence, you root for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I said that opinion in a group chat with a couple football friends, and everyone got really mad at me. That I said I think the Dolphins are going to win.
Yeah.
I'm in a group chat with a bunch of college buddies, and they are all from the Kansas City area. It is hilarious. Like, they are such rabid KC fans. I mean, the comment, it's like we're watching the games and texting each other, and any call that's even a 50-50, they're just screaming.
So let's project some of these games while we're doing it. What do we? So I'm go back to Cleveland, Houston. I'm kind of seeing 35-17 type of situation.
I think it'll be closer.
Yeah, I think it'll be close throughout the game. I think at the end, I think they'll push it away. What about Kansas City? What do you guys
I'm
project?
going to go the other way. I'm going to say Texans 24-21.
Okay.
Houston's going to win that?
Put something on
I can
paper
see it.
here.
I'm going to say 28-21 Cleveland.
Okay. So now Kansas City. What do you guys think how that game projects out? I'm going to go 17-10.
God, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Okay.
That's exactly what I was
Do
thinking.
17-14 Miami.
I was even going to say 17-3, but I'm like, there's no way they're going to hold them just 3 points.
I think Tyreek Hill has to score a touchdown.
He's got to get free at some point, right? I mean,
maybe they got the wind behind their back and they just send.
They just air it out.
They just send him. But I do think that Tua's style of play is going to suffer. I mean, he flutters that thing up there sometimes. So okay, game 3.
Game 3 is the ugly one of the.
Is that Buffalo Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's got a 34-point total.
I'm gonna go 6-3, Buffalo.
Buffalo's really good at losing the playoffs.
I'm gonna go no touchdowns.
No touchdowns.
6-3, 2 field goals.
I'm gonna go 8-0.
8-0, and who wins?
Buffalo.
Buffalo's been really fantastic at losing the playoffs, so I might go Pittsburgh 7-10.
Wow. Pittsburgh is starting. Who is Pittsburgh?
Mason Rudolph.
So Mason Rudolph's going into Buffalo and getting a playoff win.
Maybe one touchdown.
I like it.
And a field goal.
This is such a Jared pick.
So bad.
Mason Rudolph has not looked
so on brand.
He has not looked that bad. He's looked pretty good. He's been airing it out to Pickens, and Pickens has turned it on at the end of the season.
The sports book could be open for any bets that you want to.
I know it is.
Put
Put in
on that.
It's a pretty good bet. The odds are
find
nice.
somebody that would take that.
It's not the craziest bet in the world, but it's pretty.
Pittsburgh's the one out of all the teams I think has the least best chance of winning. But the weather is.
I think their best chance is against Buffalo, though.
I will say, with the weather being the way it is, it's got to be favorable to Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
it has to. It has to be to their advantage.
They've got a really good running game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does Buffalo when they use it right. But I don't want to get into that.
No. They always use it wrong when we play Jared Cook or whatever his name is.
It's amazing how talented he looks and how little he can get. Like, he can go whole quarters without touching the ball.
Yep.
Okay, so what's the next one? What do we got next? We got Dallas, Green Bay.
This is, to me, maybe the most intriguing matchup of the whole bunch.
Oh, yeah.
Why
This
is
is
that?
the big score?
I just have no read on this game whatsoever.
You'd be shocked if CeeDee Lamb doesn't have 150 yards receiving, though, right?
True, but this is the Cowboys we're talking about. They always find ways to screw things up in the
true.
playoffs.
That's true. I think it might be their year, though.
I think Dallas is going to win this one.
Give us a score then.
35-28.
Well, that would make definitely the game we would want to play.
Yeah, that's so far that's the game.
Okay, I'll go Dallas. I'm going to go 24-17, Dallas.
I'll go 27-21 Dallas.
Okay, so we all like that one to be
Yep.
high scoring, though. So that says something.
Again, is Dallas really going to live up to the hype. This is Dak Prescott's sort of defining moment, I think, in his career. He's got to do well in the playoffs this year.
He does. He really does. Because isn't he? I mean, well, no, they just gave him the big contract, right? So he's not.
I think last year,
Yeah.
beginning of last year, and then he got hurt, right?
Yep. So
But I mean, he's got to show us that he can take a team.
there's even talk that they're going to get rid of the coach if they don't perform. So I think this is a big Dallas game. Green Bay's Jared Love's coming in first year, but he's looked really good the last few weeks.
Yes.
And they have pieces that are really good. They have a good running game. They have good receivers. They've got young tight ends that are pretty good. Their defense is decent. So
Yeah, Jaden Reed's looked really good the last few weeks.
I think that'll be a good game. And the final game is
the final two games. There's the Rams and the Lions.
wow. That's another one. We
That's
got
another-
we got a
yeah.
monster number on this one, right?
I feel like you could almost build lineups exclusively from the last three games.
I would agree with that. Yes.
You know, just fade the first three and just play lineups from consisting of the last three games. But the Rams Lions, it's a 52-point total. The Lions are 3-point favorites. I like the Rams, guys.
Wow. Okay. I'm rooting for the Lions, so I'm going 28-24 Lions.
I'm rooting for the Lions, full disclosure, but I just think the Rams are built for the playoffs this year.
I think Gibbs is ultra talented. They've got two really good running backs. Laporta being hurt definitely takes something away from their offense.
Yeah.
Do we know what his expectation of play is this week?
Said that he's slated to get some work during Friday's practice.
Okay, so he's likely going to play.
Yeah. He'll play. Just how
And then,
effective is
and
he
then
gonna
I
be?
think the possible sneaky game of the week is the last one.
Yeah, Philly, Tampa Bay.
Right. I mean, everybody has been scoring points on.
Oh, Philly's
Did you
terrible.
give a score on the Rams Dallas game?
I did not. I don't think any of us did.
I did. I said 28-24.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Detroit. And the Detroit game, I said 28-24. Detroit. What are you going with?
Probably
Look at him breathing it. I mean, literally bringing it in. I mean,
in
just
true
summoning the
Dan
score.
Campbell fashion, 36-35.
oh wow, he summoned that from the future too.
Is he going like for two to win the game?
Yeah, he's going to go for
I
two
literally
over and
think
over
that's
and
what he
over
just
again.
Said. And whether it's on the 12 or the 19,
Yeah, whether
I
it's
mean,
on the three
Wherever.
line of the opposing team.
there's just to mention that again. There is no coaching reason that you can tell me when they call a 5-yard penalty on you that you go for two.
No,
from
don't
the
do
seven.
that.
Like, I just-
Why did he do that?
Because I think the NFL
Stubbornness?
scripted and rigged, and someone told him he had to. I don't know. Like, I can't think of any justification for it. Why not just kick it and go play him?
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I was thinking. I was watching that game, getting so frustrated.
I can understand going for it when the ball's on the 2, right? You got to play dialed up. You throw it to the tackle. It's a great play, but when they called that penalty and push you back, you just got to kick that.
Yeah, you
extra
just
point.
get the point.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. They still got the 2 seed. They're,
What
or,
was
no,
his
they're 3 seed.
explanation for going for it?
He just had already made the determination that was what they wanted to do. Like, anyway, we
It
could-
just looked like stubbornness to me because there's 2 flags.
maybe that will be one of our next year's show. We'll have the conspiracy NFL show and talk about all the weird things that happened the week before that make prove to you that the NFL has to be rigged.
It's definitely convincing.
What was your score on the Detroit?
I'm going to say 31-27 Rams.
Okay, so right now we have that being the highest score. All three of us have being the highest scoring game. Final game, the Monday night game.
The Eagles, Buccaneers, 43.5 total, and the Buccaneers are getting 3 points.
I would like this.
Oh
game.
wow, they're saying the Bucks are going to beat Philadelphia.
No,
no.
They're Philly's favored by 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If the Bucks in 2 games that they must win, the Bucks offense mustered up 9 points basically, right? Like the week before they scored nothing. They ended up scoring at the end. But their offense is just struggling, right? And it surprises me. They have so many good pieces. I would think Mike Evans would just blow this team up.
Yeah.
But I'm worried about the Bucks offense. But this could be the sneaky game of the week, I think.
mean, are the Eagles the elixir to a team that's offensively going in the dumpster? I mean, because everyone is scoring on the Eagles.
Their defense is terrible.
Terrible.
And and Hurts has got a hurt finger. Like he's thrown 1 pass in practice so far this week.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that game could go either way. It could be 9-0 Eagles, or it could be 54-51, and they keep just score the whole time. Like
Right.
anyway, good little review of the games. I like it. So
Let me just throw this out here for you.
ranking the top 3 games, are you saying we're saying Lions, Rams, Cowboys, Green Bay?
Let me just throw these numbers at you though, real quick.
Okay.
So since December 3rd, the Eagles have given up 42 points, 33 points, 20 points, 33, 35, and 27.
I mean, that's just terrible. That's the worst defense in the NFL by
And
far.
three of those games have been against the Giants and the Cardinals.
I hopefully this is a Bucks get right game. Mm-hmm. So
Interesting. I mean, just really
it's
interesting.
gonna be interesting how we decide to build this lineup.
Well, one thing I will tell you, looking at the salaries, they're generous. Like they're allowing you to play.
Lots of plays.
Lots of plays.
Yes, I saw that. Let's real quick transition over before we lock and load. Let's are there injuries that we need to worry about? We talked about Hurts. He's a little banged up. AJ Brown has a knee.
Mostert
Most-
is banged up.
I think that ankle is really having trouble healing, right?
Yeah. I don't think he's near 100%.
I don't think so.
Anybody else of major concern?
AJ Brown got injured in the last game with a knee injury.
he hasn't practiced yet
He's,
this week.
Yeah, non-participant, questionable right now.
Yeah. Hurts is practicing, but he's like I said, he threw 1 pass in practice so far.
Waddle is questionable.
Talk about I like Waddle, but man, that guy has struggled to stay healthy.
One of our favorite plays in the playoffs, Gabe Davis is out.
He's out?
He's out. He's been ruled out.
Ooh. I mean, in a game that we're probably going to fade.
Right.
Yeah, we wouldn't play him anyways, right?
Yeah.
Romeo Dobbs is questionable.
Oh, he's had a good year.
Yeah.
What about Watson? Is Watson back?
Deshaun?
Yeah. No, Christian Watson.
I believe he played last week, didn't he? He's questionable.
Okay.
So he
That makes-
practiced on a limited basis.
But that makes Reed almost I think when we start the lock and loads, Reed is it's hard not to, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's keep any other injuries that we need to be concerned about?
No. Laporta, we talked
Okay,
about.
we talked
Yeah.
about Laporta.
If Hurts and AJ Brown don't come into this game feeling 100%, I think Tampa Bay wins.
I think there's a good chance Tampa Bay wins, period.
Yeah.
I really do. I mean, if they can get their offense moving again, their offense was looking great there for a few weeks, and then hopefully Baker gets it back on. I feel like the offensive line is what's to blame for the Bucs. Like he drops back and he's literally ducking as he drops back, and the first guy flying at him, and he's ducking the second guy and then trying to get a pass off.
And I feel like right now Tampa Bay sort of matches up defensively pretty well against Philly's offense in the sense that they're pretty effective at stopping the run.
Oh, isn't Swift? There's something going on with Swift too.
Not that I remember.
No,
No,
he's
okay.
good.
Okay. Well, are we ready to do what I say with the moment where the show starts taking off?
Yep.
Yeah.
We talked about games we focused on. We kind of like the latter of the 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who's our lock? I think there's a few lock and loads this week.
Yeah.
I do. Jared, your lineup. Why don't you start us off with who you think do you have a lock and load as far as a quarterback wide receiver combo, or do you just have? I think that picking the stack of the week, I think it's going to be really tough. I've had trouble.
I think
There's a few of them I like.
Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb is probably my number 1.
It's pretty expensive.
Pretty expensive. And then Matthew Stafford and St. Brown, my number 2. And then Jared Goff, St. Brown, my number 2. And then Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, my number 3.
I like Baker, Mike Evans. I like. I think you can go with Jordan Love and Reed and running it back with all the Cowboys if you want. I mean, there's a lot of ways to play this, right? Do we agree?
Yeah.
You could play some naked Josh Allen. I think with that weather of that game, it's
I'm
tough.
not doing that.
Yeah.
Personally.
What about you, Juice? Where are you leaning?
It's funny. I mean, I talked about the last 3 games being like
You
where
didn't
I'm going to
mention
go.
real quick. I can't believe you didn't say Flacco, Njoku as a.
Well,
I like that one too.
you're stealing my thunder.
Oh, is that what you're about to?
No, I actually was going to go with Flacco and Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
Dude, Cooper has been otherworldly like the last few games.
And they're throwing it like 50 times a game.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's in a dome. I mean,
The thing that
That's
weirds
true.
me about Cleveland is they throw it so many times, yet they have a really strong running game. Like
they do.
Ford and Hunt and even Strong. They're decent, right? I mean, they lose hats off to Cleveland. They lose Watson, they lose Chubb, and they're in the playoffs as the 5th seed. That's pretty impressive.
I think they are actually better since they lost Watson, like 100 times better.
I agree.
Here's the thing: we just saw this matchup not too long ago.
What was the score then? Do we know?
36-22. Do you care to remember how many targets Amari Cooper got that game?
Oh, is that game?
Was it 15?
15
Yeah.
targets for 265 yards and 2 touchdowns.
I had Flacco in my lineup. Now, I didn't have Cooper. I had Njoku as the pairing.
Stroud didn't play that game, though, right?
He did play that game, I believe.
Did he?
No, I think that was – yeah, no, Stroud played.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
okay.
played. I think he was coming back from his injury.
And we didn't even talk about Stroud. Nico Collins as a potential stack. There's a lot of good stacks.
There are.
Yeah.
There are.
And
I
there's-
mean, pretty much this slate, I'm just not going to touch 3 games and then build everything else from 3 games.
Yeah,
is how I'm
it's
feeling.
a sound strategy.
so we just agree we're going to do that for this team since it's Jared's lineup, and we all kind of mentioned that. So we won't be playing anything from
Miami, Kansas City, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, and I don't really even care to touch Philadelphia, Tampa Bay.
yeah. I think you could make some good arguments for Mike Evans or Rashard
Mhm.
White. I mean, again, Philadelphia has the worst defense in the NFL. So.
The only thing I'll say is it's a salary cap world. We're salary cap girls, so we gotta we gotta play by the rules a little bit.
Flacco Cooper, definitely, because we're going to run it back with.
Maybe Nico.
Yeah, just Nika,
I
yeah.
think you have to, right? Okay, well, let's start building, and we'll see where we get. And
What stack do you want to build with?
yeah, we'll.
I
let
like
you choose.
Flacco Cooper.
There's
I
a
think
bunch
that's
of good ones.
Well,
It's
you said you want the last 3 games, so this is your lineup. Let's.
I truly think all 3 of us should, because there's so many good options. All 3 of us should do a different stack
Yeah,
this week.
I agree.
I'd like to. Yeah,
I
I mean,
steal a lot of your guys' ideas at the end, but this week I think having some separation, because we like those 3 games, so we should focus our 3 teams on which you know. So if you don't want the Cleveland Houston game, pass on it, and Juice and I will use it. If you want, I mean, I'm being serious. If you want to do Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, I have no issue with that. I like that game. I mean, Prescott has the highest ceiling on the whole slate, right? I mean, he's the only one that can really score 45, I think, this week. And I don't see a world where CeeDee Lamb doesn't have 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. I think CeeDee Lamb is the lock and load of the week. Don't
yeah,
you?
I think so too. I think he's going to easily pay off that price. I do like the price point of Cooper and Flacco, but
You pick. It's your squad. So
I think I've been convinced to go with Flacco and Cooper on this
maybe we
one.
should shut up. All right, let's put it in there.
And running it back with Nico Collins, and then that's like all the pieces I'd probably want from that game.
Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to, oh wait, sorry, Flacco, Cooper. How much is Cooper? I haven't looked at Cooper.
68.
And he's healthy, right?
Yep.
And then we're running it back with Nico Collins.
I say we go straight to defense at this
Yep.
point. So I mean, I think you go with the Chiefs.
The Chiefs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to use weather games, we might as well use.
Yeah. The defense.
Or who's cheaper between?
I would pick Steelers as
Yeah, I was
well.
going to say who between Pittsburgh, Buffalo, and the Chiefs. I'd probably go with the cheapest one, right?
You're saving $300 with Pittsburgh. It's up to you guys.
I like them both.
Let's go Pittsburgh. Let's save the money. If we have extra money at the end, we can come
always
back.
go back.
Yeah.
Okay, doke. Do we all agree that we want CeeDee Lamb
Yeah.
in the lineup? I figured we weren't going to get out of here without him. Okay, now we got to figure out the cheap pieces.
Yep.
Who's the cheap? We need a cheap tight end if we're going to do this lineup.
Which I'm good with because
Mitchell that Detroit's
I
back.
kind of want to go some pieces of Green Bay and Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we need a run back for CeeDee Lamb anyway. So are we thinking Kraft?
Or
Musgrave?
Musgrave or
Oh, we have CD in there, huh?
Yeah.
I knew we weren't going to get through without CD being in the lineup. But man, it takes us down to.
it does.
I mean, I like the tight ends for Green Bay, but now that
Musgrave's healthy. It's
Musgrave's healthy, it's kind of
hard to pick which one
Yes.
is gonna. They were like priced at the exact same too.
I wouldn't mind rolling the dice on Kate Otten. Just hoping he gets in the box.
I'm fine with Kate Otten. I mean, again, we're talking about the worst defense in the league here. 30.
Yeah.
That gets us up over
Sure.
50. Here's where it's going to be interesting. What running backs can we get in there that's going to fit in this lineup? I think we're going to have to play probably cheap wide receiver in the flex spot.
Yeah. I mean, we've got some options with if we're playing Pittsburgh, we might as well run a running back with them,
Like Warren.
or
We said we weren't going to play those games, but I
I
feel like
mean, running makes sense in that game, right?
I like Ford too. If you want to giga stack Cleveland, I think Ford.
Yeah, I was looking at that. He's $400 more than Warren.
I kind of like Warren though too. Warren and Harris are the exact same price. Harris is a little bit more expensive.
give me Najee, man. I like Najee.
You like Najee? He seems to fall into the end zone a lot, right?
Yeah,
his role has been a little bit more defined lately. Like they're giving him the rock. He's getting the goal line carries. He's got 27, 27, and 13 his last 3 weeks.
I think if we are going to play that game, it frees up a really cheap play running that back off of it, which would be Shakir, right?
Possibly, yeah.
What do you think about that, Jared? I know the passing game is not what we're of. How do we spell Shakir?
S-H-A.
Oh, there. He's only 3,400.
I mean, we can. I don't love it, but especially because that's supposed to be the worst weather-wise of all of the games.
You got to remember, Gabe Davis is out.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
So there should be a little
why,
bit more usage.
That's why I figured he's going to be the two. He got a lot of touches last week too.
Another guy that's been sort of sneaky recently is Bo Melton from Green Bay. $3,300. He's had 7, 9, and 6 targets the last 3 weeks.
That's a smart
I think
play.
I like that one better.
Do you? I
Yep.
do too. I kind of think that one makes sense indoors.
Now I'm left with 6,700.
We got Cooks, Gibbs, Pacheco. There you go.
There you go.
I think Pacheco, and then if you want it, we could bump up to Kansas City's defense.
Oh, yeah, we can.
Yeah,
That works.
All right,
And it fits like a glove.
we did that so fast. Save that into your lineup. We're going to erase this, and we're going to build another lineup.
I love this lineup, actually.
I think
I really do.
I think we just built a great lineup.
Yep.
But we did it so fast. I mean, we've only been on air for 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I say we.
Yeah, now let's build. You can erase that because I just saved
You saved
that
it,
in mine.
So,
So you
we're going to
can.
erase it. We're going to build one other lineup because
Yep.
I think there's a lot of good options here. Who do we want stack number 2 to be?
Let's use your stack, your favorite stack.
Yeah.
I want to play St. Brown.
Okay.
I don't.
Oh,
think
yeah,
that-
I do too. But
I don't
no
think
way
there's
could've
any
done
way
it.
that St. Brown doesn't get 15 targets this game.
I mean, here's the thing. So,
If we hurry, we can do 3.
yeah, if you play St. Brown, that's fine. I have no issue with that. You're just probably not going to get CD Lamb,
Yeah, I think.
which
you
that's not necessarily the end of the world.
I think you just have to. You're choosing at that point.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
But since you mentioned that,
So you're putting it in CDN.
let's put CD in and see how cheap we can get it.
Okay.
So you're gonna try to do CD and Brown.
Yep, and I'm
Okay.
going now. The question is, what quarterback do I use? And I'm going to go with Goff because he's cheapest, right? He's cheaper
Yeah.
than Stafford, or cheaper than Dak. And then for the Rams, I'm going to go Robinson as my run back because I think Puka is going to be pretty well played. And I think Robinson should keep coming on, doesn't he?
He's had 5 great weeks in a row, excluding Week 18 when he
I don't
didn't
think he
play.
played.
Yeah.
Okay. As far as my defense is concerned, I'm going to go with Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Tight end. Let's see. Do I have enough? Yeah, I'm going to go Njoku. Right? We like it so far.
I mean, I like Njoku. There's no doubt about that.
He's expensive, though, right?
Yeah.
You've got-
He's one of the more expensive ones.
I'm going to.
I'm seeing $4,400 left over.
Wait, who do you
Well,
have
no,
so
no,
far?
I hold on. I put in Najee, but
I didn't put in Najee.
okay.
I have not committed to Najee at this point, though. I do think that's a good. I think that's a good play.
Yeah, so I'm seeing 5K.
I'm going to go Warren. Since he played Najee, I'm going to play Warren.
Okay.
Now that leaves me $5,000. So at the running back spot,
Where am I off? So I've got Goff, Warren,
Lamb.
CD, Lamb, St. Brown, and Joku in Steelers defense.
and
Robinson.
DeMarco Robinson.
Oh, okay.
for
That's
the
where it's cheaper.
Rams.
Huh. Other running backs.
So there's Ford, and everything under there pretty much is terrible.
I'm going to go Aaron Jones. And
3,600 for your flex.
and I am going to go Williams.
Jameson Williams.
Yep. We'll double stack Williams and St. Brown.
Nice. Williams, in his last game he played, did pretty good.
I mean,
Then he got injured, and so he left the game. But the weeks before that, he had 6 and 7 targets.
I like him. I think playoff. I think they're going to design some plays for him in the playoffs. Like I think we'll get a reverse or two, and I think some quick screens.
So who did you get? You got Goff, Warren,
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones.
Now he's showing a questionable tag. Do I need to be worried about
I
that?
don't think so. I think he's going to play.
Practice in a limited fashion on Thursday.
So yeah.
It's a nice run back from CD for sure.
So Goff, Aaron Jones, Warren, CeeDee Lamb, Robinson, St. Brown, Njoku, Williams.
Pretty good.
Okay.
I like it.
I'm going to clear that one out. Now we're going to do juices. This is fun. I like doing 3 lineups. Kind of give us an idea what we're all kind of thinking with the different stacks.
So what's your favorite stack, Juice?
I'm gonna go a little off the board here. I'm gonna
I
go Jordan Love.
Okay, that's not a bad. Jordan Love is priced right.
I'm also gonna go. The receiver we all like.
Reed?
Reed.
Ooh, nobody played Reed yet, right?
Nope.
Nope, it's a pretty cheap stack, too.
I
I'm gonna
think
go
with-
CD. Run it back.
I like it. What defense are you playing? Kansas City D.
I think so. Let me see. Yeah, let's go the Chiefs.
Chiefs, okay.
Let's just put in Pacheco for now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Tight end. Give me Dalton Schultz.
Ooh, that's a good play. Nobody's played.
I'm gonna go Amari, other receiver.
Nice.
I'm gonna go Melton again at flex. This is where I'm gonna have a hard time.
5,200, you got Warren and a bunch of trash.
I wish I had money for Harris.
You do if you go down from Kansas City.
Oh, there you go. Beautiful.
This actually fits perfect.
So you're going to Pittsburgh?
Yeah. And then I'll go. Let me see something real quick. Yep. Let's go Najee.
Nice. Wow, these lineups fit really well together.
Yep. There you go.
I think
Nice.
Jordan Reed, I think, might be the run back. But I like Reed and Melton. They seem to be the guys that are getting all the targets these days.
Especially if Dobbs is banged up,
Yep.
as they say.
He is banged up.
I mean, maybe Melton. This is his week.
So we all 3 played CD, right?
Yeah.
And we all 3 played a Pittsburgh running back.
Yep. And let me see here. Did I play Melton? Who was my? Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I
that
didn't play Pacheco, but I think Pacheco Kansas City D is going to be a pretty highly owned
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
combination. CeeDee Lamb's going to be highly owned, right? I mean, how can he not be? But I don't think we need to worry about it because I think we've got pieces like Melton that isn't going to be highly owned.
I mean, I think the thing with CD Lamb is I can't see any receivers on the slate that are gonna outscore CD Lamb.
No. Yeah,
Like-
he's like
We'll be shocked if Tyreek goes catch for catch with CD, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll be shocked
not gonna
if
happen.
Stephon Diggs does it.
Not in these game conditions, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could make an argument maybe for Amon Ra, right? You could make an
Yeah.
argument for like Cooper Kupp or Puka Nakua. Or
I can't
even
imagine
Nico.
Amon Ross not going to get 14, 15 targets.
my guess would be the top 3 wide receivers: CeeDee Lamb, St. Brown and Amari Cooper would be my bet on who would be the top 3 scoring this week.
Maybe Nico.
Maybe Nico.
Maybe Nico.
Man, he's coming off a monster
Yeah.
game last week.
You know, I mean, but I think CeeDee Lamb is the cream of the
Yeah,
crop,
definitely.
in my opinion.
You know what we forgot to do?
What?
Talk about who the public's playing.
Yeah, but it's hard because
'Cause there's
the slates are so spread out.
Right.
So there's multiple slates this week.
Right.
So it's not really, you're not going to get a good representation. I will say that I pulled it up on, and this is weird. It says a Saturday, Monday slate, but it only really shows like the couple games.
So then here's a question.
Yeah.
Who do you guys think, or how owned do you think CeeDee Lamb will be in Ray's league? What's the percentage ownership on
I'd say
CeeDee
70.
Lamb?
70?
70?
Yeah.
I will go under, but not by much.
What we could do, guys, is I could give you the projected fantasy points for each position.
Okay.
The top 5. So quarterback, let's do that. So quarterback Dak Prescott is number 1 at 23 points. Josh Allen still at 22.
Wow.
Jalen Hurts at 22. Mahomes at 19. Goff at 19. Stafford at 19. Flacco, Stroud at 17. Everyone else is at 17.
Okay.
So not huge separation at quarterback. Let's see at running back. Who do you guys think is the number 1 projected point scorer at running back?
Probably Pacheco.
The guy we didn't mention, who I like, by the way.
Oh,
I've loved him all year.
Kieran Williams.
Kyron Williams, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, 19 points. Tony Pollard is at 17.
I almost played Pollard.
Yeah.
If I don't play CeeDee Lamb, I'll play Pollard. But I think I would play Lamb.
Yeah, it's hard not to.
Yeah.
I mean,
Rashad White is also highly projected.
I
17.
mean, to me, he's a good start.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate the way the builds are that they've got so much money into these receivers that if you play any of them, you have to play cheap running backs.
mm-hmm.
Wow. Receiver is interesting.
I brushed my teeth twice. And I'm literally still eating dirt from the Chili Bowl last night.
Oh, yeah?
Still have dirt in my teeth.
That's awesome. CeeDee Lamb is number 1. No surprise. 25
St.
points.
Brown's number 2.
St. Brown's number 2 at 24.
I'd say Nico's 3.
Tyreek is 3.
Oh, Tyreek.
Oh, wow.
20.
How can
Nico is 4th.
How can they project Tyreek at 20 fantasy points in a game with 25-mile-per-hour gusts? And
Well, that one wasn't the one with the wind. It was just negative 30, right?
Well,
No,
there is
no,
wind. There is
there's
wind.
too.
But not like as bad as.
Not as bad, but
Yeah.
there's wind. But it's more the cold. But you know, Tyreek's used to it. He's played there
Yeah,
before.
that's true.
I mean, nobody has
conditioned
more
for it.
motivation in a game than Tyreek does this week.
What I'm really surprised at is how low Amari Cooper's projected this week.
I don't think anybody will play. I think
he's going to be very underowned.
I'll say under 10%.
Yeah,
in
I
race
agree.
league.
I agree.
Because I think anybody that's playing Flacco, they're going to pair him with Njoku, right?
Yeah, that's what I did for 4 weeks straight, and
That's what I
then
did, and
missed Amari Cooper, and
Yeah.
he scored 54 points that week. Oh my god!
And that's the team he's playing right now.
Yeah.
Do you think people are going to realize that? I mean, people who listen to the show should realize it, but I didn't realize it until you mentioned it, that
Yeah.
that was the team that he blew up on. Anyway, I like this. So wide receiver, who after Tyreek, it's Nico.
I just switched time, but I can go right back. So after Tyreek, it's Nico, then it's Puka, and then Cooper, right back to back.
What are they projecting Nico or Puka at?
Puka's at 18.
I'm really surprised Puka didn't make your lineup.
I wanted him,
I'm
but I
shocked
also
too.
wanted St. Brown. It's just the
There's a lot of good. The receiver,
pieces didn't fit.
It's the receivers. There's a lot to choose from. Running back is the harder position, right?
Yeah.
And remind me, you said the top 5 running backs were.
I can go right back.
White.
It's, Williams, Pollard, White, Pacheco, and Jones.
Okay. What about?
Jameer Gibbs is right outside.
I could see him having a big game.
Yeah.
I mean, like every player in that game, I could see having. It's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
Probably going to build a
I
millionaire
think
maker and
one
just
of
stack that
one of the
team.
nice salary
for that game.
savers that we didn't mention at running back might be Devin Singletary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not super cheap, but he's
he's had-
5,700. He's right in that sort of mid range.
And had a great year.
He's had a good
Yeah.
good back half of the year for sure.
Basically took Pierce's job.
Yeah, yeah. Tight end, no surprise. Travis Kelce's number 1.
Which I don't really get anymore. He's been pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't project him as the number 1 tight end this
Number
week.
2.
Njoku. Yeah.
Number 3?
That's
Let me
tougher.
see. Number 3 is
We didn't talk about him, and I kind of like him this week.
Is it-
too.
Kincaid.
Goddard?
No, Jake Ferguson.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
Ferguson.
He's another good play. Yeah.
Dalton Schultz is 4th, and then Dalton Kincaid rounds up the top 5.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna. I'm gonna fade Kincaid. I'm not worried about trying to squeeze Kincaid. In the lineup.
Nope.
Another guy that we didn't really mention, but I think could save you some money potentially is Tyler Higbee from the Rams.
I like Higbee, and this is where Higbee shows up. It's
Yeah.
right. This is about time Higbee wakes up for the season, right?
3,400, so he's kind of the salary saver at tight end.
Yeah, I like Higbee. I think if I was stacking that game, I'd put Higbee in the stack. So,
Let's look at defense. I'm curious, like what they've got.
On the ownership percentage?
Or just projections.
Just projected points. It's all going to be kind of bunched up. So Green Bay is number 1.
really,
Tampa Bay's 2.
Green
Rams
Bay's the
3.
number 1 projected defense playing against the Cowboys.
Oh no, hold on. I got it actually wrong.
I was gonna say there's zero.
Total opposite. Disregard what I just said.
Yeah.
So Buffalo Bills is number 1.
Okay, that makes sense.
So 9.5 points.
Pittsburgh's probably number 2.
Dallas is number 2.
Okay.
Kansas City's number 3. And then the Cleveland and Texans round out the top 5.
Wow.
Okay. We did this show kind of came. These lineups kind of built themselves easily. We kind of slid through the salary.
Yeah,
pretty
We got
quickly.
the lineups, Christian? Yeah. Yes or no? Yes? Okay.
He's like more Chiefs,
We just hit an hour, I think, exactly.
right? Well, anything? Anybody we mentioned? I mean, let's pick. I like to do this just so we get it on tape. Why don't you give me your slate breaker? Your.
Let's do no CD Lamb slate breaker.
Okay, we all agree that CD Lamb is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to go St. Brown because I think
Okay.
St. Brown gets 15 targets. Let's talk maybe instead of high-end slate breakers, since we haven't talked about a lot of the cheap plays. Who's your favorite mid-level type play that has to be in a lineup?
What's the price range?
Yeah,
Doesn't matter.
yeah,
Anyone.
just not top shelf. Like
Okay.
not the guys we just.
Puka Nacua is not top shelf, right? He's
Well, we
7,200.
haven't mentioned him much. You think he's going to blow up?
I
this week?
think Matthew Stafford's going to come in here with a vengeance. The Detroit, not that great against the pass. Puka Nacua has been killing it, been getting over 10 targets a game, basically.
If that game's not like 35-31, I'm going to be so disappointed. If we
Yeah.
have to watch just 10-7.
I wouldn't be surprised
Live.
if Puka Nacua somehow gets 2 touchdowns this game,
Ooh, 2 touchdowns. Okay.
especially since it's so high scoring.
I like St. Brown in that game, so we have already mentioned. What about you, Juice? Anybody we haven't mentioned? Maybe?
I mean, I love all the narratives this week.
There's a lot
There's
of them.
so many,
Yeah.
right? I think my favorite is Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Like, I just love the story, right? I mean, like,
I do too.
Deshaun Watson's a douchebag.
Yep.
And then Joe Flacco comes in and
He'll-
turns the whole
Brings
season around.
the
He's
team
going
to
to throw
life.
it like 40 times, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he's been in a game where he hasn't thrown it 40 times.
And he looks good out there.
I mean,
He
his
does.
He
throws.
looks good.
Yes.
You know?
Well, he didn't need to throw it 40 times last time,
So we
but
built your 3 lineups. We built a Flacco lineup, a Goff lineup, and a Jordan Love lineup, right?
Yep.
So we got a lot of stuff on tape here to compare to. Anyway, that was fun. Playoff
Yeah.
pivot's fun. I liked having the fewer games to analyze that we can get deeper into the games.
Yeah. It's fun we were able to just kind of go game by game.
You know what was a lot of fun? And I can say it now that we've done this for an hour.
yep.
It's computer work the whole
Computer
time.
work.
Boom.
Actually, we're on a streak. Every single time Christian shows up, the computer's like, "Oh, better do a good job."
Hey, man.
I have had, just so we put this in the air, people are saying that when our show stops, that they'll be listening to the show, and the remainder of the show doesn't just continue. You have to go back and search and click on the second link.
Yeah, whenever.
Yeah.
Next year, we're going to make sure that if that happens, which it won't because we'll have a new computer,
Yep.
that we'll edit it all into one show, right?
Mhm.
We can do that pretty easily, can't we?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. I've enjoyed the year. I've been looking forward to more playoff. I'm glad that you guys are committed to doing this through the playoffs.
Hey, I'm going to give one shout out if I can.
Please,
course.
I love shout
So
outs.
Christian's buddy Jay Cooper, he listens to the show every now and again.
Hey, appreciate it, Jay.
Hopefully Jay will hear the shout out. And my world tennis team has a big match this weekend.
What do we got going on?
So we're playing Southern Hills tomorrow.
RH91 is playing Southern Hills.
RH91 is playing Southern Hills. Both teams are 4-0.
Oh wow.
It's a battle for first.
It's you and your partner versus.
No, it's
like
it's a
team?
team. It's a team.
Okay.
So our team is going up against theirs. So it's a big
Anybody-
one.
Happen to be anybody I know on Southern Hills?
Kendall, I forget her last name, but she was friends with Sarah Bruni.
Okay. Younger.
Kendall Martin, maybe.
I don't know
Kendall
her.
Jackson.
She's pretty good.
She's okay.
Okay. Kendall, I hope you're not listening.
I don't think she is. But another girl I went to college with is on the other team.
Oh
Southern Hills
wow,
team.
that's fun. I mean, is this something the viewing? You guys don't play outdoors, right?
No,
Okay.
no.
It's
We're playing indoors tomorrow.
It's supposed to be 9 degrees, I think, in
Yeah.
Tulsa tomorrow.
Yeah, there's one guy on the Southern Hills team that's kind of turned into my arch nemesis.
Archie, is he cool and you like? And he's just
No,
a good.
he's I mean, he's a nice guy.
Okay.
Just really good player. Like, we've always had good matches, it seems like.
Okay,
So
I like it.
I'm excited to play tomorrow. It'd be fun.
We're excited for Juice to play tomorrow. We'll look forward to the update in Playoff Pivot next week.
Yeah.
Anyway, I like Playoff Pivot. I'm
Yep.
down with Playoff Pivot. So, should we do the song and get out of here?
Yeah.
Yes, let's do it.
Which lineup did we like the best?
I think
I
I,
like
still
them
liked the Flacco one a little bit
I liked them all.
by the most.
I
but
think I like mine the best.
yeah, I liked
I
them
think I
all.
like mine the least, but that's okay.
Well, you had to go third, so you had to distinguish it from what we
Yeah.
did. So, okay, well, I'm gonna hit the button. We're gonna get out of here, and we'll